Liverpool's midfield has become their biggest weakness and many fans are demanding a new midfield signing. But the truth is, Liverpool might already have the perfect solution right in front of them. A player that can give them control, incredibly press resistant, and just provide the balance that the midfield lacks. And once you see his numbers, you will wonder why he's not one of the first names on the team sheet. And that player is Curtis Jones, a player that was severely underutilized last season by Arne Slot. A player that, as a rival fan, I'm shocked Liverpool fans don't demand that he starts on a weekly basis. And in my eyes, Curtis Jones is a player that around Europe, he just isn't appreciated enough because he is absolutely quality. When it comes to ball progression, you guys can see the graphics on the screen here. Curtis Jones is not only one of the best midfielders in the Premier League at that, he's one of the best midfielders in Europe. Look at his forward pass numbers, incredible. Progressive pass numbers, incredible. Progressive actions, incredible. Anything the word progressive comes under Curtis Jones' face should be there because he's the definition of that. And listen, Liverpool had, let's say, a good ball carrier in Gravenberch last season. McAllister was underperforming. Liverpool really lacked that passing profile midfield. Curtis Jones would have provided so many solutions last season, and I'm hoping Iraola sees the benefits of that because Curtis Jones, he's comfortable dropping into the back three to progress the ball, which he's done at times last season, but he's also very comfortable playing a bit higher up in terms of progressing the ball into the forward areas. Liverpool need to utilise him more. And his impressive numbers don't even end at a ball progression point of view. You guys can see his creative numbers on the screen here. Look at open play expected assists. He averages 0.1 open play expected assist numbers per 90 minutes of football. That is extremely good for a midfielder. You guys can see his other impressive stats on the screen as well. But listen, this is the Curtis Jones that wasn't even given the full trust last season by Arne Slot. January, he wanted to go into Milan. Liverpool didn't let him go. And listen, Liverpool should not be letting him go because he can solve so many of Liverpool's problems last season, like we spoke about. One thing people in England always say is that England don't produce metronomes, don't produce people that want to get on the ball and play forward. But we have Curtis Jones right in front of us. Look at his progressive action numbers last season in the Premier League. Who's fourth on that list? Curtis Jones, behind the likes of Rodri, behind the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who are obviously extremely good in those categories. And now the question might be, does he have that balance? Is he more of a passer? Is he more of a carrier? Don't get me wrong, Curtis Jones can do a bit of everything. But you guys can see the graphic here. He's mainly a progressive passer. Don't get me wrong, he can still carry the ball. We can see the graphic on the screen here. He made 38 progressive carries last season in the Premier League. But when you compare that to the amount of progressive passes, it's not even a conversation. He's an incredible ball progressor by passing. And even when I use the word incredible, I feel like I'm not even doing Curtis Jones justice. That's how highly I think of Curtis Jones as a footballer. Because look at this graphic on the screen here. This graphic shows passes to the final third last season in the Premier League. Who is number one on this graphic? It is Curtis Jones. He's above the likes of Rodri, above the likes of a £100 million signing in Elliot Anderson, above the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Yet, we still don't see him starting week in, week out for Liverpool, which is an absolute crime. Now the conversation becomes, Iraola, you loved Alex Scott last season for Bournemouth. Someone that can get the ball from deep, carry the ball, that can pass the ball. Incredible in that first phase. Incredibles at getting Bournemouth up the pitch and incredible at controlling games at times. But you have Curtis Jones. Let's see how Curtis Jones and Alex Scott compare. But before I do that, let me just say one thing. Alex Scott is quality. Wherever he goes, whether that's Liverpool or another Premier League club, he's going to have a very successful career because we've seen his qualities over the last couple of years. I love him as a footballer. But the question should be, should Liverpool be spending 60+ million on him when they have Curtis Jones at home? I don't think so. You guys can see the numbers on the screen here. Passes to the final third, passes to the penalty area, forward passes. Like you would expect, you could argue, Curtis Jones is on top. Now, when it comes to the defensive side of things, you could argue there's a valid argument that maybe Curtis Jones just lacks a little bit in that aspect of his game. The numbers on the screen all favour Alex Scott. Of course, there's a lot of context that gets missed in these sort of metrics. For example, Bournemouth are probably defending more. They're going to have more defensive actions than midfielders, which is why Alex Scott's numbers are higher. Same way you could argue Bournemouth have less of the ball than Liverpool, which is why Curtis Jones' ball progression numbers and passing numbers are always going to be higher. Guys, you lot are smart enough. I know you guys can come to your own conclusions. I'm just presenting you the data. But in my eyes, I just don't think Liverpool can warrant spending 60 plus million on Alex Scott when all I'm asking for is Liverpool just to give Curtis Jones one more season. Just give Curtis Jones one proper season where he's starting week in, week out for Liverpool. Let's see the level he can reach. And this is me as a Manchester United fan saying this. I am extremely hopeful that Curtis Jones can fulfill his potential in football because he is quality. Now, I know a lot of people are probably not going to agree with this video, which is fine, but let me know down below what you guys actually think on Curtis Jones as a player and his potential ability. Let's see how he does this season under Iraola. I'm very hopeful. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel.